And for those of you curious, I'll be watching it from Crunchyroll's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in two, one, and go. Alright, TV Tokyo. Alright. Can't wait to see some epic surfing. Hopefully. He's still playing even though he doesn't have the instrument with him. But hey, that's what kind of makes it pretty likable though. And one of that's blushing is because of his interest in the other boy or of the heat. I wonder what it could be. It is nice to see him this happy though. Okay, they gotta eventually stop calling him by Corgi one of these days though. Although that one I would take a stance of I ain't gonna reply to what you're saying unless you tell me something other than Krogi though. That's what I would do. I'll put my foot in the sand figuratively, of course. Quite the interesting perspective from the older brother. Quite the package there. I mean, hey, that's how life is. Sometimes you get some pleasant surprises from things you wouldn't really expect to enjoy. That's the beauty of life. Well, honestly, sometimes when he talks about show, that sounds like a person that's in love with the individual, like the way he talks so passionately about show. I find it pretty darn interesting that the animators they know that 2D hand drawings are better, so they actually do 2D hand draw the opening. I'm like, well, what do you know? This is not surprising one bit that the series looks exponentially much more beautiful when they draw the surfing. Hell, here it looks gorgeous. Absolute, and even like the symbolism, like the wings, showing some nice flat too. All in all, looks pretty cool. Even like the leg movements too, when the dude's surfing. That's definitely something you wouldn't be able to do as seamlessly with like the dude with like the Hatsune Miku like surfboard. Oh man. He's definitely a man of culture. My God. Okay, this song is pretty addicting. Especially like the little details with the hair moving. That's something you don't see with like the CG models. At least you didn't see them in the first episode. That's just something you can't replicate. Well, you probably could if you have like some of the advanced CG animation you see in some animes like D4DJ. Oh, that's so fucking cute. That poor you little dog, man, just makes you want to touch its ears and spoil the hell out of it, you know? Like the way its ears twitch and it's smiling. I mean, it happens in sports. You'll be able to sometimes pull off a trick because you're either in the zone or due to sheer luck because when it comes to pulling off movements in sports, it's all about muscle memory or repetition. And so you can master what you want to do seamlessly. It ain't something you're going to get on the first try. In most instances, I'm not saying it's impossible, but that's how it is in sports. Hmm. Still calling him Corgi. Ah. That's a good point because there's a strong wave and he gets blasted into sea. He could actually die if he gets unlucky. I could see what Tanaka meant when he said, "You're up a bit too early." He probably just said it as a joke, but if you really peer deeply at it, you could probably expand to something like that too. Just a lot of risk factor involved. I even like a little corgi just relaxing and sunbathing with the other boys too. That corgi knows about the good life. Damn, that look good, the chili dog. Making me hungry looking at it. Yum, yum. Hmm. Makes sense considering the corrosive material of the salt. Does he have to do it in like a slightly singing tone though? Oh man. Doesn't cease to crack me up. Hmm. Huh. Oh, that's cool enough they're actually doing them a solid. Aw. Yo, if I were about to start talking shit back about Tanaka, though, I wouldn't just let all of his dissing go unpunished. I'd be trying to figuratively jab him just to take him a little bit out of his figurative high tower, if you ask me. Oh, I thought for a second he was feeling pain in his muscles for a second. And that's why he was struggling putting the sleeve on. Because I had moments like that before, but thankfully that's not the case. You can tell there's a lack of detail when he's running because in the sand you don't see any sand steps. Reason why I noticed that is because I was just watching Evan's Official Blessing last season where characters were walking on sand and you actually see the detail on the sand when the character's walking, even in a far away shot. And saying that the way the water is hand drawn looks beautiful. Which is kind of like the same as episode 1. You have moments where it looks really good, and moments where you can tell it needs a little bit of adjusting. You know, to the point he's gone addicted that he's actually talking about surfing while resting too. Oh, that's actually pretty sweet. I mean, hey, why not? Oh, oh, shit! She got the full load over. I love how she had Sama to the title. And damn, she had like the most calmest freaking expression when it, considering the fact that she just saw the person she has a crush on completely exposed in his birthday suit. It's the biggest shocker for me. Oh, poor boy. Oh, this is looking cute. But regardless, though, she also made efforts in helping out, too, when it comes to the food. Oh, I'm actually shocked. What type of family does show have, then? The type of, like, family that's so busy with work that. Oh, yeah, I'll get that what that smile. It made her day, week, and probably her year too. To top it off with some whipping cream on top. I'm sorry I had to make a cake joke. Not such a bad Yahoo from him. I mean, I don't know. Corgi always seemed kind of like a fighter, if you ask me, from his personality. Didn't seem like that guy that was gonna duck out from a challenge. Yeah, you get yeah the animation there looked fake because you don't see his feet get what. It was just a small bit, but it looked uneven. Thankfully, again, the hand drawn bits look good when it's a close up. But they really do need to do at least a bit more rendering when it comes to the CG. And they need to put some shaders on there. Kind of like how D4DJ does it. That's an idle anime and that series is full on CGI. How that series does it is the CG looks good because there's a lot of shading. When they use CG on a main boy when he's surfing, they don't put enough shading to give off the illusion that the animation fits in with the 2D drawings. They gotta work on that a little bit more on the surfing scenes. Because again, the close-ups are beautiful when it's hand drawn. Man, that is actually a risk factor. There are some ways. Oh, I thought for a second it was say that going for any wave is like absolutely dangerous. Ah, Tanaka, what a daredevil. I thought for a second that was going to happen with, like, the darker than usual shading. Good shit. Okay, now I sound like something bad and tragic is going to happen that's going to mess up those fun days. Well, not mess up, but prevent them from happening anymore. Oh, that's why. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's got his own goals. And the way I kind of do like that, how the characters in this series, they're not here just to prop up the protagonist. They got their own goals, too, to strive towards. I dig this. It's just the part of growing up. The only thing he can do is just enjoy the moments he has left with Tanaka to the fullest. That's the thing he should do. Try to plan as much events, some partying. Just try to take any single bit of advantage he's got with Tanaka. So that once Tanaka inevitably leaves, he ain't gonna feel any more regrets. If he can do that, he'll be able to hold up his head high. Hmm. That's going to be absolutely dangerous, though. He's going to tell him not to go for it. Yeah, I have a feeling. Is he batshit crazy? It's dangerous. And he can't even swim. If I were Sho, I'd tell him reasoning as to why he shouldn't go. Sho, with people like Masaki, you gotta beat it into them figuratively with a bat. They're not just gonna listen to reason. Holy fuck. Don't tell me he's actually gonna go in there. He can't swim. Yo, someone as experienced as Sho didn't want to do it. What makes him think he's going to be able to pull it off, at least with this current skill set? He ain't going to be able to. Oh boy. I'm having a bad feeling about this. And then the music too. It's got some sad, somber vibes to it. Oh, and that's what I was scared of. When he's by himself, he can't swim. When he might actually potentially drown. I mean, the best he can hope for is maybe there could be like a I don't know, a kind of like Coast Guard, or maybe she'll follow after him too. Hmm. No, I have a feeling it's gonna be shaped by Show, or maybe someone else, or maybe Tanaka. Oh yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, he did warn her boy not to go. How would Masaki realize that there are certain ones he should not go towards? I hope this is a figurative slap in the face for him. Although he does receive a slap in the face by Show. Oh, okay, no, look, he's not gonna slap him. But I'm saying if he were to have been slapped, I wouldn't have blamed him for slapping him. For doing something batshit insane and crazy. And the thing is, young people do that. Ugh. Thankfully for Masaki, it's not too late because, yeah, at least his conscience is waking up. Hmm. You know, he's going to owe Show a huge debt he's not going to be able to probably pay back in his lifetime. Not a lot of people would go out of the way to risk their lives to dive in like that just to save your life. Exactly! You tell him! Exactly! Good shit, Show. Good shit. Hmm. Alright, at the very least. Well, yeah, probably all in one he's never going to be able to pay back, though, but unless, of course, his life is in nature and he happens to save his life. Hmm. I'm assuming because of the danger factor involved. Good, he needs to hear this. He needs to hear that surfing, yeah, it's fun, but it ain't all fun and games, too. There's risk factor involved. Mm-hmm. Sho and Tanaka would be sad. His sister, the family would be sad, too. Corgi would be sad, too. And when by Corgi, I mean his Corgi, cute little dog. But he's gotta respect Mother Nature, though. But the thing is, it's life. Yeah, you might have fun, but growing up, then you have responsibilities and family. Even if Tanaka wouldn't move away, if he gets in a relationship with, say, a woman or something, or Sho, and they would have a family, regardless, times that they'd have to spend with each other would be significantly lowered. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sho were to go somewhere too to study. Hmm. But you know, nothing wrong with temporarily having no goals as long as he eventually does find a goal worth striving towards eventually. Hmm. Why would he feel embarrassed about it though? I mean, I guess I could understand why. Well, yeah, I mean, they can still visit each other. Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought they were going to say something about they can still visit each other. That's true. They could probably participate in surfing competitions and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, that is an interesting way of looking at things. And pretty dang optimistic, too. Which, with how expensive that goal is, I wonder how far would he go? Would he try to become a professional surfer? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, finally! Some emotional stakes. And plus, we get to see the fruits of the labor of Masaki. We see how he stacks up against surfers with more experience, too. I love the way his light beams up when he says competition. Hmm. Who could say no? Plus, does he want to help out his little corgi? I always love how they have the lives of boys be boys. It makes at least the interaction between Tanaka's show. Hope that the sign's saying that their boys are gonna do some epic things. Well, he should strive to be a bit better than Sho too when it comes to surfing, of course. Or maybe he should focus on finding his own individuality when it comes to surfing. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to mold some things after the people you follow, but not too much though. Feel me? Alright. She like the way the song sounds. Pretty cool, pretty cool. As for the ED itself, its song itself is nice. Now, if I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, because of the ED, I mean, it gets the job done. It's pretty much the usual EDs you get in anime where you have characters walking around. Either walking around or a still montage or a camera moving from one side to the other. But it works though. The singer of the ED does sound pretty good though, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm definitely gonna try to find one more chance, the full version of the song, once I get the chance. Yes, that pun was completely intended. You know, I'll enjoy it. You know, I'll watch the ED a bit more. I do like the grayish black white art style with some colors when it comes to showing off the surfboards in the water. It looks nice. Bang for you. Oh boy. I wonder if it's going to show off their potential competition. It might. Oh, it's already got the eye of a badass looking dude. Yes! I feel a beautiful robbery forming. And I love me my rivalries in sports animes. I'm addicted to them. To me, they're like crack to my soul. I'm just joking. That's going a bit too far to say that they're like crack to my soul, but they're like figurative crack to me. Rivalries and sports animes, they just go hand in hand. You can't have a sports anime without a beautiful rivalry. At least that's how it is in most of the sports animes I watch. Because sports animes that don't have rivalries, they're just kind of dropping boring in comparison to the ones that do have epic rivalries. But anyways, enough about that talk. Let me rate this episode overall. If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10. Even though the animation quality was actually worse than episode 1, the script lifted up for me exponentially because it's acknowledging something that a lot of youthful people kind of have to go through. Yeah, you're not going to be able to spend time with your friends forever. You're going to have to make decisions in the future. And I do like how our main protagonist is coming to that realization. I thought that was actually really damn sweet. And I like how it gives our Masaki character development when he says he wants to go towards a big event someday, but involving all of them in a competition right before Tanaka leaves for graduation so that they can have some nice memories with each other. I thought that was good character development for Masaki. And I like the character development for sure, how they're getting closer together, how they even made a birthday party for him, and how his friendship with Masaki has like grown so much that he knew that Masaki was gonna risk his life surfing, and he risked his life to save him. Very few people would do that, and shows one of those type of people that would do that. So he's a real one, and I thought that scene was absolutely badass. I was like, damn, this got built different, and I love it. It makes him more lovable than he already was too. And another thing that I also loved about this episode, I did love the fact that the voice performances were pretty nice. I was like, okay, everyone did a good job. I'd say the only weakness is again the CG animation, because when it's a close-up hand drawn, no problem. When it's far away, you can definitely tell it's off because it feels like the water is going through their bodies sometimes, or it doesn't feel realistic because there's no shading, and that really throws me off because that's one of the weaknesses of poorly produced CGI, just the lack of shading. And considering there's a lot of sports animes this season, it just makes the animation issues of this series really apparent sometimes. Because you got SK Affinity, which looks gorgeous. You got another gorgeous looking not skating, but another gorgeous looking sports anime called Skate Leading Stars, which is just hand drawn goodness from start to finish. You've got Idly Pride, which it is in sports, but it's performances with idols. And that looked, well, at least the second episode, it looked good. Like, you have so many sporty animes that looked great. And then this series, it's like, you kind of have to compare it to its contemporaries, to the other animes this season that are in the sports genre. And that's why the visuals do hamper it a bit for me. But overall, though, I do like the artwork, and at the very least, it was consistent for the non-surfing sequences. But the issue is, the series, it's going to need to live and die off of the surfing, considering that's its main component. But regardless, though, and more good than bad, and if I were to rate this episode overall, I'll rate an 8 out of 10 because the moment where Sho says Masaki was badass. But not every episode is going to have an emotional draw like that. It needs to do something that sets itself apart from the other sports animes. Because if not, this anime is going to age poorly. But hey, I'll be positive. I'm liking this series so far, and I think it'll find a rhythm for itself. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the bin, share it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later if you come back from work, because I'm definitely reacting to episode 3. But anyways, thank y'all so much for watching my video, y'all, and have a fantastic day, everyone.